Welcome to a slightly extended version of the DFS Minute, where this week we're going to try something new and cover all of the weekend's games in this one video. As in the past few weeks, the biggest contest this weekend is the Draft Stars $30,000 tournament, which has a $4,500 prize for first place. This week, that contest includes everything after the GWS v Hawthorn clash on Saturday afternoon. Draft Stars also has $10,000 contest for the full round, a $1,000 free roll, and more contests to be added as the week continues. Over at Moneyball, they have a $5,000 special for Friday night's AFL, with a minimum $7,000 tournament Saturday and $5,000 tournament for Sunday rounding out the week. In the NRL, it's still Moneyball leading the way with a $3,000 tournament for tonight's Rabbitohs match, and they have $2,000 up for grabs Friday, Saturday and Sunday, with $1,000 currently for Monday Night Football. Top 8 have their Millionaire Maker, while the regular contests there are currently topping out at $200 guarantees, but we'll see if they add more as we get closer to game time. Let's start our round preview in the NRL, where North Queensland and Sydney are the two big stacking options this week. South Sydney are also worth consideration if they're in your contests. Stacking the attacking players in those contests is going to take a fairly formulaic approach, with fullback into winger stacks looking good options for each of them. Blake Ferguson and LATRELL Mitchell for Sydney look the best options of those stacks and will feature in my lineups. In general, the contests are much tougher this week, but you might look at the Storm's Vunivalu for some value. He's off solid scores, and there's a risk you're chasing last week's points, but at 4,800 on Moneyball, I think it's worth the risk. Kerrod Holland for Canterbury and Richard KENNAR for the Storm are also options that might save you some dollars. So let's move on and look at our team of the week for the first time. This is our theoretically optimal lineup, and it's the type we'd enter probably in a 10-man contest, but we wouldn't enter it in a big tournament, a guaranteed prize pool tournament, as it doesn't really take into account stacking. The lineup here takes a risk on Seguiaro, who's returning at hooker this week, and buttresses some solid players with some value selections. In the forward pack, we have Jake T, Ryan Tapau and Mitchell Albison, who all look decent chances, with the cheapie Daniel Alvaro filling out the roster. In the backs, we have both Vunivalu and Holland, who I mentioned previously, alongside Samir Radradra, who performed well for us yet again in the contest last week, and we'll take a chance on him again this week, even at his price. At half, we're looking to Moses Mbai, who I've mentioned previously will vary between really good weeks and really bad weeks, and we'll hope that this one is one of his good ones. That's our NRL team of the week, so let's switch codes and take in round 6 of the AFL, where your big stacking opportunities come in the form of Adelaide, Geelong, Sydney and the West Coast, and they're spread pretty evenly between Saturday and Sunday's contests. Friday's looks to be a tight affair, and I'll be using my usual strategy there of playing mixed teams alongside stacks consisting of either team's players. Moneyball have tweaked the prices a lot this week, and it shows as it's hard to find much value in any of our top 50 projected players. TOBY McLean of the Bulldogs and Seb Ross for St Kilda are two of the top players by value, along with a few of the 3,500 to 4,200 salary players, whose playtime is a bit uncertain as we record this. In an Adelaide stack, Mitch Grigg and Matt Crouch look reasonable options, while Sam Reid, Kurt Tippett and Dan Robinson look some of the better Sydney options. For West Coast, Liam Duggan, Jeremy McGovern, Josh Kennedy and Matt Priddis all look reasonable options, and West Coast will be one of my preferred stacks this week. In part, that's because it's always more fun to be the chaser than the chasee when it comes to the crunch minutes on Sunday night, and West Coast are in that last game of the week. Let's move on and look at our team of the week in the AFL, again for the first time, and we'll go to Draft Stars for this contest. As with the NRL, this is an optimal lineup and isn't really recommended for big tournaments where stacking is going to be crucial. We start with the young American Mason Cox. Off a promising debut and with a chance to score more this week, he's definitely a good value at the salary. Kurt Tippett has been in our sides a lot this season, and we expect him to perform again this week. Based on my experiences at Draft Stars so far, I think the mids are where contests are really won and lost, and we have a solid 4 here in Smith, Viney, Priddis and Crouch. In defence, we're going to go back to the riskier, cheaper options, with Darcy Bone-Jones and Wagner the best options we think at the price. Finally, Even Marriage didn't have a great return last week, but we'll give him another shot. He's a cheapish option at ruck, and we like him in this week's contests. Thanks for watching this episode of DFS Minute and for your support of Fantasy Insider. We're keen to hear what you think about this format, so let us know what you think in the comments below, whether we're on the website or on YouTube, or through our Twitter and Facebook pages. Also stay tuned to our social channels over the weekend for last minute tips as well as free projections. And don't forget you can subscribe on the Fantasy Insider website for access to all of our strategy articles, our weekly projections, as well as our lineup cruncher, which will allow you to build lineups instantly using the projections that we've put together. So that's it from me, good luck this weekend, and we'll see you next time.